cactus and succulent growers, I'm Lynn. Welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon in the north of Ireland. And in today's video, I'm going to be watering my Lophophora collection for the very first time after their winter rest. Probably about a week ago when I watered the majority of these cacti and succulents in the polytunnel for the very first time, and I mentioned I'm going to be watering all the plants except for the ones in the very big pots, and I still haven't watered them because April can be a bit of a dodgy month. But I mentioned I was going to be doing the Lophophoras separately, and the reason for that is I just wanted to leave it a week before I watered all these, so it wasn't too overwhelming to water the whole collection all at once. But these Lophophoras now can definitely do with the watering, and what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to show you a few examples of how I start them up with the watering. The last time I watered all of these Lophophoras was probably the middle of September. That was the very last time. And it is now sort of the third week in April, and they are desperate for a light watering. And the reason why I give them a light watering, as I mentioned in my other video when I watered all of these guys here, is that if I go too ahead and give them a heavy watering too fast, and they can take, especially Lophophoras in my experience, take a lot of water up. They can plump themselves up, but they also can burst open as well. I've experienced a few lofts that have just burst open because they've took too much water. I'll see if I can show you some examples here I mean, this is actually slug damage, by the way, but this is how they can look if they take too much water up. They can go like this, but it will callus over and heal, but it can look unsightly. So I like to give them a light watering so they don't take up too much water. And also it's good to wake up the roots. They've been bone dry in their roots for many months, since, as I say, September, and it gives the chance for the roots to wake up a little bit. So light watering today, and then I'll probably leave it a week until they all dry out again, and then I'll give them their first proper watering, as I mentioned when I did with these as well. So I'm just going to show you a few examples of how much water I give them. And as many of you may know, I like to use these long handled little nozzles. These are great because not so bad with the lofts actually, because they're not really going to spike me, but usually with a lot of the cacti, when I'm reaching over the tables, these for example, and I've got a watering can, I get hooked everywhere and it's just chaotic. These are great for reaching all of them plants right at the back, and it's also good because it's easy to contain the watering with these as well. So what I do, give it a pump. I just want to mention I haven't got any fertiliser in this. I don't fertilise them with their first light watering. Then the second watering I give them in about a week's time, I give them more of a heavier watering. The third watering is when I put a wee bit of tomato feed in, just to kick the flowers. I find Lophophoras will, as soon as you water them, even if you haven't fertilised them, they then start to send the buds. I've already got sort of seed pods forming here, and I haven't given them a drop of water. And you will know as well, it's quite normal for Lophophoras when they come to the end of their winter rest. When they need water, they'll often take on this lovely sort of bronzy appearance, and that's just a stress response that they do when they need watering. And they'll also go very soft and spongy as well. And particularly with Lophophora diffusa, this just feels like a little soft sponge. But in a couple of days, after even a light watering, you'll not believe how much these will firm up. So here we go. I'm going to start off with my very old Lophophora williamsi. It's a bit scabby, but I got this many years ago when I lived in England, in Glastonbury. So this is probably about, well, I would probably say nearly 30 years old. It was a small little pup, and it's quite large now. So, as I say, literally just a sprinkling. And I find lofts quite like to have a bit of overhead watering. Helps to keep a little bit of the spider mites at bay as well, which these are very prone to, hence the scabbing in the past. Now with this one as well, it's also a lovely seed pod, juicy fruit forming, and that's all the watering I give them. This one is Honzi's. He's had many years of Cospitosa. And this one is my Lophophora again. This is what spider mite damage looks like, that scaliness, by the way, outgrowing it. And I love to use neem oil to get rid of mites, as well as rubbing alcohol with a bit of soap in. And that was what my wonderful friend Daz at Cacti Mania suggested. It works really well. So here we go, this one as well. As I say, I watered all these the other day, so don't need to worry about them. And this one here, they're probably going, oh, thank goodness, I'm having a wee drink now after this long, dry winter. And the weather's been pretty good. Lovely temperature today. And going to be good weather forecast next couple of days, so I wanted to give these water. I always prefer to water towards the end of the late afternoon, very early into the evening, and that's because it's if it was very sunny now, for example, I watered these, and sometimes it's not good when it's sunny and you've got water on them. But you water when it's practical to you, either early morning or early evening is best. And you can see, I'm just really giving them a light water. This one is very soft and desperate for a drink, but that's all I'm giving this one. This one here. It's amazing how I've got many different types of Lophophoras. They're not all Williamses. Some are different varieties. So if you want to see a complete tour of our collection, do go ahead and watch a video I've made of a collection. I'll probably do an update one as well in the future. And I'll link that video up above. Do watch that one after this one. I literally count to about 5 when I'm spraying them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's enough. And that's not a Lophophora, obviously. It's a little seedling mammillaria by the looks of it. That obviously a seed must have fell in there and took root at some point, but I'll have to separate this obviously very soon. Well, that's them all done. Happy days, happy lofts, all watered, and as I say, I'll give them their first proper watering probably in a week's time, and then we're well into the growing season. Then I'll give them a wee bit of tomato feed with the third watering. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. A big thumbs up to my wonderful partner Hansi, who is behind the camera, who's been able to film me today. So he's great to actually film me when I'm watering. So do go over and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Plant Daddy. Links up above. And don't forget to subscribe to me too, and click that notification bell. You can also follow me on Insta, Twitter and Facebook, Desert Plants of Avalon, and check my website out for regular blogs on there and what all the plants are doing, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all a fantastic cactus watering day.